What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here on Road Graders. We are finally back. Looking forward to diving into some film. We're going to be going full swing into draft season, into off-season mode. And today I thought we'd start with a little bit of a project that I wanted to do last year. I think just with the injury, it was hard to kind of get too excited about the player, but we're going to take a look at Andrew Vorhees here on Road Graders. If you guys are looking forward to this content, if you're looking forward to lots of draft content, lots of film around free agents, draft prospects, all that good stuff, and how they might fit on your Baltimore Ravens, go ahead, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here, and drop a comment down below because I want to hear what you guys think about Andrew Vorhees and what you think of his film. I won't lie to you guys, I got pretty excited going through his film. We're going to mostly look at 2022 and 2020, his left guard play. He's played, a ton of snaps. He's the real downside to him as a prospect was that he was an older prospect. He's already 24 years old, so he was older than most of the other draft class. He suffered a few injuries, which gave him extra years of eligibility. Obviously, we need to be mindful of those injuries because he did get hurt at the combine. Most of you guys saw it. It was all over social media again this week where Vorhees tore his ACL in a drill and then with a torn ACL came out and dropped a record 38 bench press reps. Just an absolute mammoth. We'll see some of his strength on here. But just so for context here, in the last 2 years of his play, 2022, he played 719 left guard snaps, 2021, 500 left guard snaps, as well as 402 left tackle snaps, 2020, 415 left guard snaps in the shortened COVID season. So a lot of left guard, but that ability at left tackle was really interesting. He's a left guard at the NFL level. I think he's a guy that's going to compete with someone. They're going to bring in competition because of the injury concerns for John Simpson's role. I think John Simpson will be gone. But a couple of the statistical pieces here that I think you guys will want to know about. Only 3 sacks allowed over his 3 years over those 3 years, and like a total of basically 15 pressures allowed. So really high level pass blocking, but someone that also projects really well in zone blocking. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at. Let's get right into it here. So we're going to start with some of his run blocking ability. And if you guys saw my tweet that probably went out about it, if you follow me on Twitter, 2 things I'm looking for in our offensive line. Really want to see that high-level pass block ability as well as that ability in zone because that's what I think Todd Monken wants to be able to do. So start with some zone-specific snaps here. You see him in there at left guard number 72. We're going to see a nice little cutoff block. This is just high-quality stuff. We got oh my God, 2-eye here. Sorry, 2-eye technique here. So we got to seal that outside with that scoop step. You're going to see right there, there's that cross step. And what I like to see, what he does so well is create leverage in his hands. You guys are going to hear me say the word leverage 500 times. Get ready for it. Attacks that outside armpit here, or I guess it'd be inside of the blocking scheme with his right hand. We're going to attack there. And as we get to this point, we're kind of in recovery mode, but that athletic ability, see his feet able to catch up. And so this would have been a much better block. This is obviously aimed to go to this side, but keep an eye on the right guard here, 57. He gets swam. Defensive tackle breaks it up, forces the cutback, so this run doesn't go for a whole lot, but Vorhees kind of seeing the create leverage with his hand and then use his feet to catch up and seal, and right there, that's what we want to see, working towards that outside shoulder. This defensive tackle is completely out of the play. If we have a little bit of a seam there, we'd be moving this way. But the right guard got beat really bad. So not good there from the right guard. Get into another one here. And this one we're going to be on the play side. So again, we got to get to this outside. We got a true 3 technique here. And we got to get to that outside shoulder. So there we get that this is just nuts play. So he's going to attack with his outside hand. You see him throw that little hook right there. And he wants to seal, but as he's doing it, he's working this right hand inside, and he saw the opportunity to push up, and he just corkscrews, puts his man into the ground, right like that. He finished. This is an RPO play, so you can see Caleb Williams actually keeps the ball and throws it to his right, but the offensive line's running this as a zone left play, so that's still a run block snap. It's just an RPO with a pass. but just the mauler mentality, the finishing, all that stuff from Vorhees. But what I really wanted to focus on with this particular snap is kind of the independent hand usage, knowing when to use it. Throws a hook with his left, but has enough awareness to work that inside hand. So he's basically throws a hook and an inside scoop, grabs that, and then corkscrews. And then obviously we want to see guys getting finished. So that's something that Andrew Vorhees does a lot of. Goes for a touchdown. Nice play. Get another one here. We're going to be on the backside again. So we got to overtake. And as we do, you can see him head across. This is a perfect rep from a left guard going to his right. Again, I don't know who this right guard is, number 57, but you see him get beat pretty bad there. 40 comes in. It's going to force the cutback. Takes away from Voorhees' beauty here because, my God, he was running with this guy. Might have been able to get the center up there into the second level. You can see 62 has no one to block. Would have been some good stuff there. But that's right there. I mean, there's your hole. If the right guard's taken care of, he's going that way, and Voorhees getting his head across is exactly what we want to see. Hand on the hip, he's just escorting 94 where he wants him to go. So just a really good rep there. Another zone rep. We're going to see that outside scoop step. See right there. Take a look at his feet. See how he stomps that in quick. Head across. You see that outside hook again. And then, again, he hooked him here. But as he starts to kind of feel the momentum, he's working that inside hand, and he's going to push him back out. And this is just one of those reps where that's just a good finesse block. He just takes his man out. 57 losing again. Rough game for 57. He ends up on the ground. But Voorhees looking like a beast in these concepts. We're going to be on the play side again here. We're going to get across against the 3 technique. He's got to come across as he does. Again, finishing into the dirt. Running back goes for a touchdown. So again, you see that. Watch his left hand. Going to get that hook. As he's doing that, he's working that right hand. And then he just kind of gets right here. His hands are both inside, and he's just going to hit this like a bag, drive him into the ground. 94 had a rough game. I don't know who he is, but not a very good football player. Voorhees dominated him. So you kind of see it there in his zone concepts. Looking really good, really athletic. Was surprised when I was diving in. I thought that was going to be a little bit more of a weakness, but you're kind of seeing that. But the most important thing for me, the way he creates leverage with his hands is so impressive. He's constantly working those points, and when he's making those power moves to basically use that leverage, he's not like contorting his entire body, which takes him out of a rep if he basically gets matched. I think he's just that strong. So some really good stuff there. Really good route here. Not route, but good path. Kind of see him take that wide step, getting out in space, getting hands on the linebacker, and again we see that ability to want to finish. So just love the patience here as he's trying to locate the linebacker. He's not too fast to him. He's staying nice and slow, just angling him, keeping that head outside. Kind of see him angling right here, and then hands on, and then again, look at vice grip hands on drive. So he's out there, he gets his hands in, he's not trying to hit him too hard in space that he misses and then takes himself out of the play. He focuses on his hand placement, creates that leverage, and then goes for the drive into the dirt. We get into the Oregon State game here. We're going to see much of the same. This is actually going to be my favorite rep that you guys are going to watch in this breakdown. I'll explain why. So they're going to run zone to the right, and Voorhees is going to take care. You see it's my screen brush here. We got a 1 tech on the far side, which will be the play side, and we have a 3 tech on the back side. So he's got to take care of that 3 tech, just kind of pass him off, trying to pass him off to 70, and then he wants to get out there and reach a linebacker. So what he does is he takes that really wide, look at that wide scoop step. So that coming back like that, and then he's working this outside leg, his left leg. He's trying to work it outside of his body. So he wants to get that to the right, to the inside of the run, because he wants to basically cut him off like he does right there. And he just has to disrupt 96 enough so that 70 can try and overtake. But if he tries to just drive block him, he's not going to be able to get to the second level. But that's an advanced move right there, because he gets right by him, starts to climb. 57's climbing to the other linebacker, and this is really what disrupts this would have been a beautiful combination block, because he took care of his business here. See 70 overtaking enough, That's not going to be a high leverage block, but he's going to probably do enough. And now he's starting to locate that linebacker. That's who he needs to reach. But this linebacker, watch his movement. He comes up on 57 and he cuts back inside, and when he does, he's disrupting the path of Vorhees. So Vorhees bumps into him and he actually falls because he doesn't see him. Now, it works out for USC because he's running into, that's a good gain right there. And that linebacker took himself away from the run path. He gets sealed by 57 here. But this is just an advanced, I know he doesn't make a highlight block, but just advanced knowledge of, I need to make this cutoff block, and then I'm going to reach to the second level. Because if he's able to get there, if this guy cuts that way and the running back's making a move off him and Vorhees is climbing to that second level, you can see he's got a lot of daylight ahead of him. So just that type of scoop step, the athleticism to get that left leg inside of the defensive tackle and then reach the second level. It just really shows the finesse style he can play with. He didn't need to make a highlight block. He didn't need to drive him. He just needed to pass him off to number 70, disrupt his path, and then get into the second level. So as much as he, has some downside from the age piece because he's obviously going to be maxed out a little bit athletically, he also has all this experience, all this advanced technique that he would have been learning over these years. And so that really comes into play there. So here we're going to get into another one. And again, kind of the same thing. He's going to just disrupt enough to pass off to the center. Center's going to get there, and then he gets out. And again, patience, getting his hands up, creates that leverage point, and then pushing towards the sideline, the linebacker, just to take him out of the play. Running back goes for a little bit of a run. So really good stuff there in zone concepts. All of those plays you guys just watched, all zone, all things I think we're going to want to see out of Todd Monken moving forward, especially with a guy like Keaton Mitchell in the backfield. Especially they're going to make a couple investments there, whether it's a free agent, whether it's a draft pick. I think you're going to see more of you'll still see gap concepts. We're going to take a look at Vorhees doing some pulls here. So you're going to get the down block here. Vorhees is going to pull. He's going to come around town. And what I like here is that he locates 14, who fills the gap pretty hard. You see 14 come downhill. Vorhees gets that head inside. He wants to look inside, push inside, create the gap here. And as he does that, the running back's able to, he gets hit by other guys, but you can see the quickness in his pull. He's moving well. Now you're going to get a down block opportunity from him. Again, another gap concept. So he's going to come across to 94, and you see a little bit what he can do in there. And this is where I just love his game so much. Heads outside. Heads to his... We're stage left here, or stage right. So his head is, get my marker up here. Head's inside, but this hand's inside, right up in that armpit, right where we want it. And he's going to just drive him out, never loses his leverage point, and just completely takes 94 out of the game, lets that concept develop. Get into some of his pass block opportunities. Obviously, it's something that you guys are going to be interested in. I'll tell you right off the bat, again, good hand power, good hand leverage. A little bit worried about his lateral movement, and a little bit worried about some of the anchor ability where he is, getting attacked with a bull rush. We're going to look at a couple plays here later in the set of clips where I think he needs to improve in his pass protection, but you'll see the hand power and the leverage creation, which is the most important thing about his game. So, here we're going to see he's going to square up. 94, you see that good, nice inside step. He's going to hit that post step inside, square with his hands. As 94 tries to release to go outside, this is the critical piece. He's trying to run basically a late stunt here and wrap here, but Vorhees has this hand up here in the armpit area where we want it, and he's able to just work that all the way through this rep. No hold because he keeps his hands inside. As he starts to move, he's moving with him. So you kind of see that forward movement. It's almost like a run block where he's sealing him out. But just really good ability there to avoid getting a penalty. Move his guy where he was trying to go. And, the quickness to move forward. But I think one thing you do see there that I want to kind of focus on when we're looking at areas to improve, he moves a lot quicker moving forward than he does moving laterally or moving backwards. So it just kind of shows an area that he does really well in his movement skills and his athletic ability, but also a spot where I think he needs to improve a little bit. So here I just had to show this, just a play action play, but his ability, look at his inside hand, work up the armpit. He just tosses them. Too funny to not show this play. Not a highlight block or anything, but just love that ability. He's just got that mauler mentality that I know you guys really want in a guard that they're going to have on their team. So here's a good example of where he deals with power really well. And this play is entirely made by the placement of that inside hand. You can see 51, that's his glove right there. Vorhees hits that inside, and then you see right there he extends. There's that back arch we want to see. Look at that wide base. If he could do this, constantly, that's going to work out really well for him. I know the left tackle kind of comes in at the end, but it didn't matter. He had 51 locked in, and you can kind of see the hand power. When he's able to do this, and he has his hands locked in on you, those are vice grips. So what he does so well here is the quick set. You see him right out on him, hands up, locks in, great, gets that power base, and just rides the rep. Is this a catch? Yep. That Jordan Addison. Shout out him. Get into another one against Oregon State here. And so here we're going to deal with a little bit of the power game, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. So we're going to deal with a stunt. So you're going to get 56 as the knife man. So linebacker's going to come up, cross his face, try and ding down on the center. 95 is going to wrap. So I think he processes it well here. You can see him passing it off, and then he sees his eyes go up. And what I need to see from him is his ability to kick step here. So he wants that. And I like where his feet is. Like, his feet are in good spots. So his right foot is ahead of his left foot. He's got that power diagonal of the pocket. You never want that outside foot to drop to be ahead of your inside foot. So I think he adjusts really well there. But when he comes back and 95 gets those hands on him, he just gets overwhelmed. He's too high here. He's not able to plant his hands. So, and I think he wasn't able to get his feet in position. So the sack comes from somewhere else, but definitely pressure given up there. Trying to read that stunt. You can see it again here. They're going to drop the linebacker out. They're going to bring, what was the 5 tech. He's going to come across and charge Vorhees, get a little bit of runway here, and then obviously the left tackle is going to deal with the outside guy. And so you can see it right there because he's got that runway, little high. Those hands are outside. You can see the white glove there. Not in that power position. We're kind of up and bent over, and we're giving up a little bit of pressure there. Caleb Williams has to step up. He ends up scrambling. So that's one area that I just noticed in a few of these reps where I think and like this, I don't think is a strength issue. I think it's he stops moving his feet, and then also he just drops his left foot way too much. So what I'd like to see from him, where'd it go? What I'd like to see from him is to kind of keep that foot out, keep a little bit more of a flat base, and not drop too much. I'd like to see him get out there a little bit quicker, and then, be able to get his hands in, get low, that sort of thing. So there are a few reps of him doing just that. Here we're going to deal with a little bit of a turn, but as he does, you can see that kind of, remember what I was talking about? Like, you see those quick feet. So as he spins, that right foot starts to go back. We don't want that right foot to open up because it's going to open up a path into the quarterback. But look how much he recovers his feet, gets them more parallel. It is back a little bit, but it's a lot more parallel. It's not open like that. And, by this point in the rep, he's now in a neutral position in a really good spot. So definitely there are reps of him doing really well in those scenarios, but there's also reps of him not doing so well. You're going to see him come in and overtake. And that's really the difference for me. When he gets his hands up quick like you do here, see him take that two-step, wide step, get his hands in, that inside hand goes up, and this is what I'm talking about. There's that power position, there's those wide feet, and there's that those hands up into vice grips, and he's just going to run that block. Too easy for him. So there's definitely some examples of that where he is doing it well. What I think the issue is going to be is coming off stunts or coming against guys that are going to use that runway. So that's basically where we see it in these 2 reps, right? It's guys that are able to get a little bit more room where he can't get his hands on them. And so we just need to see quicker feet, and we need to see him staying low in these reps right there. So that's what I have for you guys. I'm really excited about this kid. I can't wait to get him in camp in Owings Mills. This kid has so much potential. I'm very excited. Love the mentality. I think you guys saw it. You guys wanted him all, or you've been calling for it for so long, and I think that's what you're getting with Andrew Vorhees. I also think you're going to get a really solid pass protector. So a lot of things that folks had on their wish list that I think Andrew Vorhees checks those boxes. If you guys enjoyed this breakdown, if you're looking forward to more, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and of course, drop a comment down below. Are you guys excited about this kid? Is this the future left guard? I want to hear from you. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.